Hi guys, gals, my non-gender conforming pals. My name is Carrington. Welcome back to another video. Or if you are new here, hit that subscribe button down below. Click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads. And let's go ahead and get into the video. In today's video, we are trying out a brand that I'm excited about. It is Scott Barnes. If you saw my what I bought December 2020, if you didn't, I'll link it down below. But if you did, then you know that at some point around Black Friday, Scott Barnes had a sale on some of his products, 4 of his products, where it was $30. I think everything was like $30. So I got his blush palettes. I have one of his eyeshadow palettes. This is his more neutral one. I think he has like Glamazon. That's like a new one. That's like a more cooler tone grayish palette. And then he's got another one. I can't think of what it's called. And it's like really colorful. But the only one that was on sale was the like natural one. So I bought that. I have his highlighter palette and his sculpting and contour palette. I am super, super excited to be diving in to all of this. If you guys are excited to kind of check out the Scott Barnes brand with me, find out what's good, what's not good, if you guys should purchase it, if it's only good whenever it's on sale, then definitely keep on watching. Okay, so I've already primed my eyelids. I'm using the P. Louise base. If it's not a Scott Barnes product that we're trying today, I'm going to be pulling from my Shop My Stash bag. If you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below. Basically, for each month, I'm going to go through my stash and pick out products that I think need a little bit more love and put them in a bag, and that's going to be my everyday bag. So whenever I'm going to work and not filming or not doing something special or anything like that, I'm going to just pull products from that bag to get more use out of them. And then after I've used it for the month, I will then kind of decide if there's something I want to stay in my collection or if I'm ready for it to part, or if I've used it up, because I do have some like samples and like minis in it. So see if I could maybe use them up. So I've already got my eyes primed, and the P. Louise base is what's in my Shop My Stash. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like. Let's do a few swatches. So here's the shade Vintage. It's a very like transitional kind of brown. Yeah. Let's do another. So here's Foxy, which is like a deeper brown. Let's do some shimmers. So we've got a couple, some of them look kind of different. So here's Laced. And then here's Starlet. Here's Nightcap. And then let's do Silver Screen. So overall, all the products are swatching nicely. They feel really nice as well. So I'm really, sorry, my cat is like licking my foot. I hate it when she does that. Okay, so overall this palette swatched really, really nicely. Let's just hope it performs the same. I'm first gonna go in with my Juvia's Place J115 blender brush. I got this in a set. I don't know if they still have it or not, but I am gonna go into that vintage shade that we swatched, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. Next on that, oh my gosh, next on that same brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Laced right here. I am like watching, okay, so I just got Hulu. I know, I'm late to the game, but we've had Netflix for over a year now. And so we just decided that we were gonna do like that Disney ESPN bundle thing. And so we got Hulu, and I have been watching The Act on there. I'm on the 3rd episode, so I think there's 8, and I'm on like halfway through the 3rd one. I'm like so mind blown. I know Munchausen syndrome is a real thing. I know Munchausen syndrome by proxy is definitely a real thing. As I work as a mental health tech in a hospital. But OMG. I don't know, like, I have so many mixed feelings on that. And the thing is like, it's based on like a true case. Like, this person was real, and like they lived in Missouri after Hurricane Katrina like took their house and stuff. And I am just still like so blown away. Oh man. Just because, like, okay, so I'm a mom. I have 2 kids, and I could not imagine wanting my kid to go through pain so that a way, like, I could just get that attention and get like the money and the free stuff. I know people are crazy, and I mean, obviously, and do that. And then I know how the case ends, because it was a big deal back in the day. Like, that was like a very talked about thing here in Missouri, because it happened here in Missouri. But like how it ended, I'm just like, does she really deserve that though? Like, I mean, just years of, I don't know. Okay. Just years of like torment almost. Okay. Let's now go into the shade right here called Femme. And I know it's like she didn't know any better, like growing up, like she, you know, didn't know like that what her mom was doing was wrong. I feel like, you know, there were some areas in the movie where like, or in the show, I mean, so far, where it kind of seemed like she kind of knew that something wasn't right. But I mean, when you're a kid and all you have, I mean, you never have any friends, you know, you're having all these procedures done because your mom is like basically telling them that you have to, and like forging documents and stuff like that. It's gotta be rough for a kid. That's all I gotta say. Gotta be rough for a kid, but I don't know. I will say, with this palette, you really don't have to use a lot of products. So that's nice. Like, you really just have to just like dip your brush in like once or twice, and then just kind of like slowly just start to build it up. So that's really nice. I'm going to continue into the outer corner again on the Juvia's Place J11 Definer. It's a little bit smaller. I'm going to go into Temptation. All right, if you guys have seen Hulu's The Act and know some stuff about like the real story, like have followed up with it or whatever, or heard about it then, let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. So again, you really don't have to go in with a lot. I'm just trying to decide like what I want to do shimmer wise. I either want to go in with Silver Screen or Nightcap. Let me kind of swatch both. Silver, that's Nightcap, and that's Silver Screen. So actually, let's do both. So let's tap what is this called? Nightcap on like the outer part of the lid, and then we'll do center screen. Oh wait, Silver Screen. I have like the names all mixed up. So here are tops of the lids done. Nice and cleaned up. I think that's all I really have until we get to more of like the complexion products as well as the lower lash line. So I'm going to go do the rest of my face off camera, and then I will be right back. So I'm back, and we're going to work on the lower lash line. I'm first going to take my Morphe brush. It literally just says Morphe. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to dip into that vintage shade and just really just drag it all over the lower lash line for a nice transition under there. I'm going to take the BH10 brush, and I'm going to go into that Foxy shade. Tap it off just a little and run it. And then lastly, I'm going to take the darkest shade, Temptation, and just kind of focus it out on the lower lash line, outer corner, right up next to the lashes. So here is the eyes finished with some mascara. Next we're gonna go into the Sculpting contour palette. I did put on some cream contour, but let me take a brush. Let's try the shade over here, Carved. Take that just a little bit on like the tops of the brush, so like I'm just dipping the tops, so that I can kind of go over with like a powder contour, and then focus that kind of just up along here, kind of give it a little bit more of that contour shade, and then some down the neck. I'm then going to take that same brush, and I want something a little bit warmer. This looks like way too warm, but maybe, hold on, let me swatch first. So I've got Chiseled, and then I've got Sliced. Looks like Sliced is going to be warmer. So let's go ahead and let's take Sliced all over that brush and just start to really warm things up. Okay, well, that is super pigmented. Oh, I literally did not realize it was going to be that pigmented. So I'm going to take my foundation brush and tap over it. And one thing that I've really noticed with this palette is that wherever I first apply the color, so wherever I first put the brush, is then where the product really likes to stay. It just doesn't blend out as nicely as I had thought it would. Okay, I'm going to take my sponge and go over that. Okay, so for the blush, we got to be mindful that this is very pigmented. Overall, it's a very nice palette. I will just say, wherever you put the brush is where a lot of the pigment's going to go, and so you really have to focus on blending it out. Also, just use a little bit. So I used Carve for like the contour, and then Sliced for like the bronze. Next up is blush. Let's see, I'm trying to think like for the eyes. I think I kind of like strike a rose right here for the eye look. That's what I think we should go with. Okay. Yeah, it's just, his products are pigmented. So it's definitely one of those go in with a light hand and just honestly work on building up. You don't need to go ham all at once. So here's the blush on each side. That's very beautiful. Again, pigmented. Just dip your brush in lightly and build up. I'm finding that to be the best with his products. And then last is the highlight palette. I'm wondering if I could maybe pull off Candlelight. So here's, I think Candlelight's going to be too dark. So maybe Twilight Sand. It's a little bit lighter. I think Twilight Sand might actually work, you know, because it's going to be blended out on my cheeks. So I'm going to go into Twilight Sand, which is this one right here. Just lightly coat my brush, because again, we don't want to get carried away. Okay. The other side. Can't really tell if I'm really getting anything. So it's definitely a formula you're gonna have to build up, but even with building up, it's not going to be something that's going to be like bam in your face. So that's something you're just gonna have to lightly, you know, take a little bit more than the other products that we used on our brush, but I mean overall it's nice. It's just, if you're wanting something, so this is called, hold on, this is called, remember the Showy and Glowy palette, And while I do feel like I am getting a glow, it definitely just took some time to build up to get to that. So I'll talk more in depth about that when I get to my final thoughts of everything. So I'm back with my face completely and totally finished. Let's just like kind of dive into the products and what I'm thinking about them. First, the highlight palette. Again, it's one that you really have to build up to even get like the slightest bit of glow. I will say, for me being super fair, I can already tell I'll be able to wear like 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 shades. So I've got 8 shades in here, and of those, 4 are going to be too dark. I did pay $29 for this, so are $29 for what you get worth it? This palette was worth it for the $29. It was nice to try out. I just wish it gave just maybe more of a glow. Let me re-swatch. So let me swatch the 3 I think will work for me. Okay, let's put them here. And again, even swatching them on my hand, this one is the one that I'm wearing. Looks like it's more, you know, illuminating than the other ones. So if you're wanting something blinding, you can see from Mars, this isn't going to be it. If you're wanting something that you can build up to the intensity that you want, and you want something softer and more lit from within, this is definitely it for you. Let's talk about the Chic palette. That's like a tongue twister. This is absolutely beautiful. I can see myself using every single shade depending on what look I'm going with. So that's the thing like I love about this, is it has a shade for almost any single look you could possibly be doing. It is pigmented, so just lightly dip your brush in and build it up. Don't just like pack your brush in like I did with the contour and go to town. So what I love about this is I think full price, absolutely worth it, especially because I can use these tones for almost any single look. And with them being so pigmented, I really feel like they have potential to work for really like deeper skin tones. This one is definitely one where if you get it on sale, that's amazing. But even if you pay full price for it, worth it. The Sculpting and Contour palette. This is pigmented. I learned my lesson with that. These are super pigmented. There's a few shades in here that I probably wouldn't be able to wear. So like this shade right here is way too red. The Sculpt one right here, way too dark. But let's swatch Frame, Diced, Snatched, and Chiseled, which are ones we didn't use. And let's see if they might be workable for me. Okay, so there they all are. Again, some of them are warmer, some of them are cooler. This one I would really have to use a light hand on. These two mostly, which is Chiseled and Snatched. So those two I would really have to use very lightly with an already light hand I'll have to go in with. I will say one of the things I wasn't a huge fan of is whenever I would place my brush, wherever I would set my brush with the product first, it just seemed like it just stuck there and I really just had to blend and blend and blend and blend and blend. But overall, guys, if I'm fair and I'm able to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I know I can use 2, potentially if I use a super light hand, and then 2 that I'm not going to be able to. So overall, I can't use 2 shades out of this palette, and I paid $29 for this. That to me is worth it. If you can get it on sale, absolutely worth it. I will say if you have a deeper skin tone and you could maybe use all of these shades in different ways, this will definitely be a really good palette for you. If you're fairer than I am, you know, you're probably only going to have about half the shades that's going to work for you, and then that's going to be up to you. Is the quality of it, the fact that it's so pigmented and you don't have to use a lot of it, worth it? Just kind of things that you have to think about for yourself. But overall, for the $29 that I paid, this was absolutely worth it to me. Would I pay full price for it? I think I have to play around with this some more and play in the different shades to see kind of what I get. I feel like I went a little bit too ham with the contour and bronzer today. So I would definitely want to play with this again using a much lighter hand now that I know I need a much lighter hand, and kind of see how I'm feeling about it then. But I will say for the sale point, if you can get it, absolutely. As for full price, I'll have to keep you updated. And then very last is the palettes, natural number 1. I love the eye look that I created. I went in with 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes and 2 shimmers, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The colors blended out beautifully. They were pigmented, so again, one of those, just going lightly and build it up. I was able to create something absolutely beautiful. The shimmers, it just makes your lids look so wet, so creamy. It comes with like a nice big mirror, and it says, "Be the most beautiful version of yourself." Guys, I cannot stop looking at myself in this mirror. I'm just like, who are you? Okay, this was absolutely beautiful, and I got this for $30. Here's my thing. If you can get this for $30, run and get it. If you can get this for full price, I would also say this is a great palette. If maybe neutrals aren't your color story, they had a more colorful one. They also had a really like grayish neutral one. So if you're more interested into like smoky eyes, go with the Glamazon. If you're more into the colorfuls, go with the other one. If you're into like the neutral eye looks, go with this one. It was such good quality. I was so impressed. I would say, I mean, honestly, I would have purchased this at full price for as amazing as this is. All right, everyone, and we have made it through the video of testing out Scott Barnes makeup. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have tried Scott Barnes, what are your opinions? But also, what is your skin tone? Are you medium, tan, deep, fair, ultra fair, light? Let me know how well you like these products based on your skin tone. I kind of want to know that. Let me know if you've tried his eyeshadow palettes, if you guys love it as much as I do. If there are other products from Scott Barnes that you guys are absolutely loving and raving about, let me know down below so I can check those out. And that is it for the rest of this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, hit the nail, share, hit the bell, share, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.